The man never expected this. Right after he transmigrated, he only had 3 days left to live, and beside him stood a fox tribe girl who might chop him in half at any moment. To stay alive, he had to lower her hatred toward him. To please her, he gave it everything he had. But the seed of hatred had long been buried in Chufu's heart. One careless move, and he would die, and she was only one of his 7 villain wives. It turned out this world was built entirely on slavery. As long as you had money, you could buy any slave you wanted. He learned all of this by staying up late and studying. But for some reason, just as he was about to finish reading, he suddenly fell asleep. Young Masterly, besides the money, I'll give you 3 extra female slaves. The slaves from my house are top tier. Do whatever you want with them. But this one of yours looks so stubborn. She doesn't act like a slave at all. I can train her for you if you like. Hearing that, he grabbed her face and squeezed it. You're the stubborn one. Then he threw her to the ground. How dare you act tough in front of me? Yet he still turned to young Master Zhang and said, please leave. Even if you offered 10, I wouldn't trade her. Young Master Zhang let out a cold laugh. Old Li, you don't even seem to like her that much. Why keep her? I've come to visit so many times already. No need to hurt our friendship over a slave. Don't tell me you've fallen for your own slave. Don't make me laugh. Young Master Zhang let out a cold laugh. Old Li, you don't even seem to like her. Why keep her around? I've come all this way so many times. No need to ruin our friendship over a slave. Don't tell me you've fallen for your own slave. Don't make me laugh. Little did he know, the man was already shaking with rage. You know exactly what state your family's in. Don't be as stubborn as your father. His stubbornness dragged your whole house down. And raising slaves costs way more than raising dogs. Maybe with the gold and silver I give you, you might crawl your way back up. As he spoke, he leaned close to his ear. Li Yuanyi, don't get stubborn with me about everything. I control wind and rain in this whole area. I wouldn't mind having my father destroy your family one more time. Hearing that, he could no longer hold back. Just as he was about to curse and strike young Master Zhang, a wooden plank flew in and hit him. The man who attacked him suddenly turned pale. Young Master Zhang, he might have stopped breathing. Young Master Zhang looked disgusted. Then throw that slave girl onto the street. Say she went berserk and killed her master. Today, my Zhang family will purge evil and burn her to ashes. And at that moment, the him in the dream suddenly heard a piercing scream. He jolted awake in terror. He quickly looked around. Following the sound, he stepped out of the room. He found a girl being dragged by her hair and beaten. Just a lowly slave, scheming like this. No wonder Li Yuanyi hates her. But Li Yuanyi isn't any better. What kind of master tortures a slave like this? Anyone would go crazy. Hearing the insults around him, he suddenly felt a strange sense of déjà vu. Li Yuanyi, wait. That girl on the ground. Isn't she Chu Fu, the cannon fodder slave from the novel The Villainess Loves Me Too Much? Did I transmigrate? As he wondered, someone walked straight toward him. Li Yuanyi, you finally woke up. What? Hearing that name, he finally realized he really had become that pathetic cannon fodder who dies in 3 days. That runaway slave of yours. We caught her. Time for you to deal with her. The word struck him like lightning. How did he become that damn scumbag? And at that moment, a beam of golden light, only visible to him, fell from the sky. A mechanical orb emerged from the golden light. Hello, host. I am Do Ding, your exclusive system. Welcome to the world of the novel The Villainess Loves Me Too Much. You will play the cannon fodder character, Li Yuanyi. Your mission is to redeem the female villain. If her corruption value reaches 5 stars, you will instantly die. The heroine Chu Fu's corruption value is rising rapidly. If you don't act now, you'll be dead soon. A man beside him saw him frozen and immediately hurled an egg at Chu Fu's head. Instinctively, he roared, "What are you doing?" His unusual reaction startled the man. He then raised a wooden stick and stood in front of Chu Fu. Let me see who dares touch her. A woman in the crowd was surprised. He's protecting Chu Fu? But to his shock, Chu Fu's corruption value increased even faster. He instantly understood. The original host abused her for years. Sudden kindness would only look like a bigger trap. He had to switch strategies. So he darkened his face and yelled, "She's my woman. I discipline her myself. You bastards mind your own damn business. Get lost." The crowd burst into laughter and dispersed. Thoughtly, Yuani changed. Turns out he's just jealous. Let's go, let's go. That slave girl's in for it." He shouted after them. "Still putting on a show. Get the hell out. Whether she lives or dies, she's mine. Anyone touches her, I'll chop your damn hands off." But behind him, Chu Fu stared at him with pure hatred, because she believed even worse torture awaited her. When he turned around, she trembled all over. After waiting a long time without punishment, she cautiously opened one eye. Seeing this, he snapped, "Get your ass home now." At that moment, Do Ding's cheerful voice sounded. Corruption value stopped rising. "Nicely done, master." He followed up with another shout. "Move it. You think I'm a kind person?" Little did he know, Chu Fu was clutching a sharp stone so tightly it made her palm bleed. She ultimately followed him home obediently. The woman from earlier let out a cold chuckle. "This Li Yuani, interesting." But while he kept pretending to scold her, her injured body could no longer hold on. Her legs gave out and she collapsed. Seeing this, even he felt a sting in his heart. "All right, let me save you properly." Soon, they returned to their residence. Having read countless transmigration novels, he immediately asked the system for a newbie gift pack. The system was surprisingly generous, giving him 10 points to exchange for items in the shop. So he decisively spent 2 points on a set of women's clothes. Not because he wanted to see them, but to apologize to Chu Fu on behalf of the original host. But Chu Fu remained unconscious for 3 whole days before waking up. As she rubbed her eyes, he happened to sit beside the bed with a bowl of medicine. "Just brewed it. Drink it while it's hot." Unexpectedly, the gesture frightened Chu Fu so much her corruption value spiked instantly. Do Ding quickly warned, "She probably thinks you're trying to poison her." Realizing the issue, he deliberately hardened his expression. "You're drinking it whether you want to or not. I don't want a corpse in my room. Low life like you. Don't drink and I'll drag you out." As soon as he said that, she forcefully swallowed the medicine. Then she glared at him stubbornly. "What other tricks do you have? Bring them on." In truth, she was thinking, this time Li Yuani got knocked out because of me. He must think I caused it. I won't survive. He'll definitely torture me. Maybe I should end it myself first. As she was lost in thought, he threw the new clothes onto her. Having read the novel, he naturally guessed what she was thinking. "Want to die? No way. If you die, I'll whip your corpse." Then he pretended to be angry as he set down a plate of food. "Clothes for you to wear, food for you to eat. Where's your gratitude for your young master?" Little did he know, a snake was watching everything. This brat is still vicious. Looks like he hasn't changed. With that thought, the snake transformed into a seductive woman outside the room. She thought, that day, he really seemed like a different person. Forget it. As long as he keeps abusing Chu Fu, I still have a chance. While she was thinking, a voice called from behind, "Jenny, let's go gather some fruits." Hearing that, the woman quickly put on a smile and agreed. Inside the room, he continued cursing, "This is all you deserve to eat. Even my dogs used to get 4 dishes and a soup. And look at the clothes you're wearing. Anyone would think I picked up a beggar. Change them now. Don't embarrass the Leaf family. And finish every bite. If you leave even one, I'll dump it on your head." Yet the next second, her corruption value rose again. Seeing this, he cursed internally. Being nice doesn't work. Being vicious doesn't work. What is she, a pig? Do Ding reminded him, "You're not fierce enough. She thinks you poisoned her food." So he grabbed a chicken leg. "Huh? Why is my chicken leg in your soup? I didn't even notice. You think you deserve chicken? Sure, it tastes good, but seeing you ruins my appetite. The more I look at you, the more annoyed I get." With that, he slammed the door and stormed off. When she saw he had truly left, Chu Fu immediately lunged at the food. She grabbed the chicken leg and devoured it. Having gone so long without meat, she cried while eating. Watching through the system's monitor, he sighed heavily. Such a beautiful girl. How did the original host do this to her? Same name and surname as me too. What karma is this? Then he glanced at the water jar beside him, only to find he was filthy with an indescribably awful smell. So he immediately spent 1 point to buy a 6-in-1 body wash, plus a free scrubbing towel. All right, I saw a medical kit on sale earlier. Add that too. Doding replied, no problem. And master, items bought from the shop are permanently usable. He then went to Chu Fu's door and listened. She should be almost done eating by now. It's been half an hour. In that case, she should be done. With that, he kicked the door open. The loud noise startled Chu Fu, making her whole body tremble. Although he felt guilty inside, he still acted arrogant and careless. Sit down and keep eating. If my dogs ever dared leave Fu behind, you know what would happen to them, right? Hearing this, Chu Fu's eyes widened instantly. Holding her bowl, she continued eating pitifully. Seeing this, he reached into his pocket for something. Chu Fu caught the movement from the corner of her eye. So, he's thinking of new ways to hurt me again. The next second, she shivered in pain. Yet all he did was gently clean her wounds with an alcohol-soaked cotton ball. Chu Fu trembled as she ate. As expected, he still Yuni. He really poisoned me. He sighed inwardly. Explaining it was alcohol would be pointless. Better to let her think he was just tormenting her. So he continued, acting fierce. Keep eating. Don't you dare stop. Give me your injured hand. Every wound needs to hurt again. After she finished eating, he had just finished applying medicine, then turned to leave. Chu Fu looked stunned. She never expected it wasn't poison. She tried to call out to him, but he had already shut the door. Staring at the closed door, she whispered, Isn't this his room? Outside the door, he was shivering in the cold. But thinking that tomorrow she would see her wounds healed and realize it wasn't poison but medicine, he felt freezing outside was worth it. Yet he never expected things to go completely differently. Early the next morning, Chu Fu's corruption value hadn't dropped. It had increased. Even if his performance wasn't perfect, it should have been at least a 90. Why'd it go up? As he panicked, he suddenly caught a strange smell. Turns out he had forgotten to shower, and his entire body stank. Suddenly, an idea struck him. If Chu Fu saw a clean, refreshed, handsome guy who treated her gently, maybe she'd be moved. So he immediately grabbed his toiletries and went to shower. Moments later, Chu Fu's door opened. A clean, practically glowing, handsome man walked in. Chu Fu didn't recognize him at first glance. He struck a pose he believed was cool. So, impressive, right? But Chu Fu instantly stepped back into a defensive stance. Her corruption value rose again. It felt like a deadly blow to him. Come on, I'm not a top-tier pretty boy, but at least above average. Why is she still corrupting? Then he thought, if a beautiful woman suddenly threw herself at him, he'd probably think she wanted to harvest his organs. So he changed his expression instantly and barked, Why are you still wearing those rags? Didn't I give you new clothes? Showing me that deadpan face. Are you doing this on purpose? Dressing like that? Trying to make people say the Lee family is stingy? Hearing this, Chu Fu froze, then peeked at him timidly. I should go cook now. The next second, he pushed her onto the bed. With your cooking? Even dogs would vomit. You're not cooking today. Stay home and reflect. With that, he stormed out angrily. Chu Fu timidly peeked out to watch him leave, then looked at the new clothes on the bed. Thinking back on his behavior these 2 days, she became confused. She originally believed a runaway slave like her would be beaten to death. Yet he not only spared her, he even gave her good clothes. Could he actually care? Suddenly, a little devil voice echoed in her mind. You're done? You think a guy who hits you every day suddenly cares because he didn't hit you today? Don't fall for it. Chu Fu slapped her cheeks. Right. He must be plotting new torture. I absolutely can't trust him. Outside, he was bragging to the system. Women feel happy when they wear beautiful clothes. Their favorability will rise naturally. But the moment he finished, the system smacked him with bad news. Chu Fu's corruption value rose by 0.3. The result made him drop to his knees. This job is impossible. I might as well just die. Then he instantly changed expression. Girl, running into me is your misfortune. He put on a sleazy grin. Serve me well, and I'll make sure you die quick. The next second, he happily asked the system, how was that? Was my acting vicious enough? Do Ding replied helplessly, enough, enough. Hearing that, he let out a dramatic sigh. To keep this persona from collapsing, who knows the effort I put in behind the scenes. Moments later, he walked into Chu Fu's room carrying a bundle of firewood. He threw the firewood on the ground and growled, "Go bathe. Put on the clothes I gave you. Looking filthy every day. You've embarrassed me enough." "What? My clothes aren't good enough for you?" Flustered, Chu Fu crouched to gather the scattered firewood. He immediately snapped, "Who told you pick it up? If your wound's split, I'll have to pay for treatment again. Go clean yourself up and get ready to bathe. I want you spotless." Chu Fu's eyes darkened as she gave a silent nod. So he really is still Li Yuanyi, and she actually expected him to grow a conscience. After heating the bathwater, he called Chu Fu over and urged her to wash quickly. But she covered her chest with both hands and kept backing away. He scowled. "Other people's slave girls have better bodies, better looks, and they're more passionate than you. I can walk around outside and see plenty of beauties who want to look at you. Hurry up and wash." With that, he slammed the door. Only after he left did Chu Fu slowly begin undressing. Sitting in the wooden bath, her heart pounded. He's as eager for me to bathe as he planning to tonight. Meanwhile, he was complaining to the system. Just Chu Fu alone is this difficult. The other 6 must be even worse. This is a death quest. The system comforted him. If he could conquer all 7 villain heroines, he would gain the 7 strongest warriors in the world. He gave a thumbs up. Being a simp is just the path I start on. My ambitions are bigger than that. Night fell. After bathing, Chu Fu put on the new clothes and shyly peeked at him. He had to admit, she was truly beautiful. He secretly vowed to give her more outfits in the future, but outwardly kept a stern face. Not bad, barely acceptable. That line nearly broke Chu Fu. He isn't satisfied? He yawned. "I'm going back to lie down. Once you're done cleaning, come in and stay by my side. Protect your master." As he spoke, he suddenly grabbed her face and snarled, "If I wake up at night and you're not in my room, I'll rip your clothes off and pin you to the bed." Chu Fu nodded repeatedly before he released her. After a few steps, he turned back. "Don't bother cleaning the buckets. If your wounds get worse, I'll have to waste more money on doctors." Chu Fu watched his back as he left, her body trembling slightly. Tears welled up in her eyes. "So, you care about my wounds just because treating them would cost money. But that's fine. At least I get to keep my life, and things are better than before." He hid behind the door, quietly watching everything. Do Ding suddenly reminded him that Chu Fu's corruption value had dropped greatly. At this rate, her affection would soon max out. Excited, he grabbed Do Ding and hugged it. But his eyes still rested on Chu Fu outside the door. "Silly girl, I'm no longer the old Li Yuanyi. One day you'll understand I truly want to see you smile. Truly want you to be happy." As he lay on the bed, resting with his eyes closed, he suddenly heard a faint sound. Opening his eyes, he saw Chu Fu, her face flushed, sitting by the bed. He hurriedly sat up. "What's wrong?" Chu Fu looked confused. "Didn't you tell me to stay by your side while you rested?" He quickly slid inward on the bed. At the same time, he pinched his nose to stop the sudden nosebleed, letting her see that would be humiliating. He then shouted, "Did I spoil you too much? Look at yourself. Nothing but skin and bones. Only dogs enjoy gnawing bones, understand?" Unexpectedly, Chu Fu said, Isn't this what you've been working toward these days?" Helpless, he scratched his head, too lazy to explain. He deliberately put on a stern face. "You jinx, you almost made me pull my back just now. This bed's too soft. I can't sleep on it. I'm sleeping on the floor tonight." Chu Fu looked puzzled, wanting to say something, but he had already grabbed a sheet and laid down on the floor. Seeing he wasn't responding anymore, she obediently lay on the bed. Maybe it had been too long since she slept somewhere this safe. She drifted off quickly. But nightmares soon came for her again. She dreamed of her village being attacked, flames filling the sky. Her mother shielded her with her life, telling her to run and never look back. But no matter how fast she ran, she was still caught. When she woke, she was already locked in a cage, sold as a slave. These painful memories made her body tremble. Hearing the noise, he softly asked, "What's wrong?" Getting no response, he immediately sat up and asked Do Ding, "Can you sense her dream? Is she reliving her past?" Do Ding replied, "I can't see directly, but her corruption value has been rising since just now." Looking at the trembling Chu Fu, he understood. This noble-born fox girl had suffered since childhood. He didn't need to guess what she was dreaming about. He gently wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes. Why aren't her wounds healed yet? He then took out the medical kit to disinfect her. The moment the alcohol touched her wound, Chu Fu jolted from the pain. "It hurts. What is he doing to me? Forcing me to eat during the day, changing beds at night. Is he waiting for me to relax before killing me?" She clenched her teeth and shut her eyes tight. After he finished applying the ointment, she finally let out a long breath. When she opened her eyes, there was a trace of killing intent. "If you want to do it, just say it. Why go in circles?" Suddenly, she pulled out a shard of glass from under her pillow. She pressed it against his throat. "If you dare touch me while I sleep, don't blame me." Just then, her wound tingled. Looking closely, she saw it slowly healing. She remembered he said the ointment hurt, but worked. Realizing this, her guard against him loosened slightly. Early the next morning, Do Ding urgently woke him up. It turned out the original male lead, Shi Tianrui, had also transmigrated. "He's handsome and good with words. He might surpass you quickly. If he reaches the 7 villain heroines before you, the main system will erase us both." Rubbing his chin, he suddenly understood. "I gained 30 points last night. That means my method works. And the fact that a cannon fodder like me, who should have died days ago, is still alive means the story has changed. If he wants to get close to Chu Fu, he'll have to get through me first. I'll follow the plan. Just add one more step, guard against the real male lead." Then he walked to Chu Fu's bedside and gently touched her head. "Good little fox, sleep a bit more. Wait for me at home." This action stunned the just-awakened Chu Fu. Good little fox. The scene shifted. He arrived in the outskirts, planning to take Chu Fu out next time to relax. Suddenly, he heard rustling from the bushes. "Come out, I already saw you." Though in truth, he hadn't seen anything. A few women stepped out of the bushes, and one of them laughed. "Don't be nervous. We're from the nearby tribe. We heard something and came to check. We saw you at the square last time. Your name is Li Yuani, right?" He lowered his guard. "I thought it was a beast. I just hummed a few lines. Didn't scare you, did I?" 2 women whispered. "Didn't they say Li Yuani was fierce, messy, and always bullied people? Why does he look kind of handsome and talk so gently?" Hearing this, he raised his eyebrow proudly. "If your mouths are that sweet, say it louder." The woman in the lead added, "You really do look different from the rumors. By the way, may I know your names?" "I'm Ning. I'm Zhang Shui. I'm Xiao Yuan," she said, handing him a watermelon. "Just picked it, super sweet." He said, "Oh, you're too kind," while his other hand had already taken the melon. "We pick a lot today. You can take some back and let your maid try." Hearing this, he instantly switched to acting mode. "Good fool. She's just a slave. Taste what? She doesn't deserve it." If he wanted to act, he had to act all the way. That's what a movie king would do. Do Ding praised him, "Master, you're unbelievably cautious." Just as the women were about to leave, Xiao Yuan turned back and stole another glance at him. He immediately waved enthusiastically at her. Then he turned to Do Ding and asked, "In the original story, was there a beauty named Xiao Yuan?" Do Ding checked. "The 7 heroines on the strategy list don't include her. Maybe your improved reputation is attracting new characters." He nodded. "Now that you mention it, I really can't think of any other reason." Soon, they returned to the kitchen. "Damn, why is cooking so damn troublesome? The fire starters are all used up. How am I supposed to light the stove now?" So he asked Do Ding, "Do you have a lighter?" "Give me one." "Yes, 1 point." The next second, a spark lit up in his hand. "Haha, just wait. These country bumpkins are about to witness the greatest invention of the new era, the lighter." Right after he said that, Chu Fu suddenly appeared behind him. "I heard you were in the kitchen." He immediately stepped on the lighter. "Why, yeah, so what?" Then he snapped, "Wait, why do you care? What are you doing here?" Chu Fu walked in slowly. "I came to cook." Hearing that, he grabbed the firewood. "Then you cook your food." "I'm practicing making fire. Don't butt in." After saying that, He furiously rubbed the wooden stick. He thought to himself, isn't making fire like this way too hard? What if she sees this and her corruption value goes up again? But Chu Fu simply took the wood from his hand. Let me do it. She lifted her hand and a spark of fire appeared. In the next second, the entire stove ignited. He froze. Holy damn. Amazing. Chu Fu softly explained, my power hasn't fully recovered, but summoning a small spark is still possible. He was already exploding inside. That was magic, right? He knew this world was mystical, but seeing it for real was insane. He tugged at her skirt. That gesture, was it paired with some kind of chant? Chu Fu replied, no, just focus your power with your mind. He gasped, that's strong. Did you always make fire like that? Doesn't it hurt your fingers? Chu Fu was a bit confused by his reaction. It doesn't hurt. He pressed on. Is there a cost for using this? Can I learn it? Besides fire, can you use water or lightning? This is super eco-friendly. Damn, with magic like this, no wonder you guys never needed technology. Chu Fu stared blankly. Why not understand a single word he's saying? But the next second, her face turned red. Weird, why do I suddenly think he's kind of cute? At that moment, Demon Chu Fu jumped out. Are you crazy? You think he's cute now? Did you forget how he tortured you for years? Jolted awake, Chu Fu immediately sat up. Right? He's a pervert. Everything he does is an act. Little did she know his mind wasn't on her at all. He was copying her hand gesture. How do you focus energy? Doding reminded him. You can exchange point for skills. He was shocked. What? Even that? Chu Fu stole a glance at him, thinking, but he really has been different lately. Still harsh, but he hasn't beaten or humiliated me. He even applied medicine and let me sleep on the bed. Do Ding added, with your remaining points, you can only buy a skill that predicts 10 seconds of danger. He frowned. Buy it? Only 10 seconds? What the hell am I supposed to do with that? Do Ding repeated, skills can be upgraded. But he still felt it was too expensive. I'll buy it later. Meanwhile, Chu Fu was secretly staring at him. And he actually looks pretty good now, and he smells nice. He suddenly noticed something off. Wait, the pot's overflowing. She's spacing out. Her face turning black then red. She's gonna corrupt again. Think. His eyes lit up. Got it. Chu Fu, look. He held a melon up to her face. She asked suspiciously, a honey melon? From where? He explained, I went out to gather firewood this morning and ran into a girl from our tribe. She gave it to me, said it was sweet. Chu Fu's mind spun. He's better looking now. And girls just give him melons the moment he steps outside. He believed he had everything under control. Of course, you women love picking fruit and flowers, right? Anyway, this melon is for your afternoon. I don't like sweet stuff. Take it as a favor. The next second, Chu Fu slammed the pot lid shut. The loud bang startled him. Her face darkened. I don't want it. Seeing her corrupt again, he slammed the melon on the table. Something I give you. Since what do you get to refuse? Then he escaped instantly, using the kitchen smoke as an excuse. Well, how was that? I ran fast enough, right? Still under control? But Do Ding disagreed. Something's off. The system detected a strong emotional spike from Chu Fu, but it's not corruption. He sighed in relief. As long as it's not corruption, I'm fine. Do Ding frowned. Strange, what emotion is this? Meanwhile, Chu Fu was pouting in the kitchen. She glared at the melon. Someone gives you a melon and you accept it? Do you just take anything women hand you? Outside the house, he ranted, this system panel sucks. Few functions, barely any points. How am I supposed to level up? Do Ding comforted him. Relax. Once the 7 villain heroines appear, you'll have more targets to win over, and the points will start flowing. His eyes lit up instantly. True, with 7 wives generating points, the income will skyrocket. But remembering how difficult Chu Fu alone was, he shivered. If all 7 villainesses show up at once, I'll die on the spot. The next day, at the tribe's plaza, Elder Su Fu addressed everyone. As tradition, every winter, male and female slaves go hunting and cotton picking separately under the protection of second-tier warriors. But he wasn't listening at all. His eyes were glued to his Chu Fu baby. Sure enough, she stood there looking better than anyone else. He kept winking at her like crazy. She saw him and immediately puffed her cheeks, turning away. He sighed helplessly. Why? I even gave her a melon yesterday. Why isn't her affection rising? How long do I have to act like a villain? Why is winning over women so hard? Harems and novels just fall into the MC's arms. 5 days passed. He sat at the tribe's gate. Everyone else's slaves had returned, but his Chu Fu was still missing. He stormed to the elder. Chu Fu isn't back yet. Don't you owe me an explanation? I'm not leaving today unless you tell me something. The elder rubbed his temples. You troublemaker. Enough already. Didn't I send someone to check? You're driving me crazy. He summoned the guards of that group and questioned them why the slave named Chu Fu hadn't returned. The guard hurriedly explained, not my fault. She's antisocial, always pushed aside by the other girls. She was picking cotton at the edge, then suddenly vanished. Other female slaves said she was taken by the dark tribe. Hearing this, he exploded in rage. She was kidnapped, and you didn't say anything earlier? Aren't you supposed to protect them? The guard snapped back. I'm there to supervise their labor. If she wandered off to die on her own, how's that on me? And slaves aren't rare. Just buy another. He punched the guard straight in the face. You useless trash. You can't protect anyone, and you dare talk back? The guard panicked and immediately fought back. Onlookers whispered, Chu Fu's gone. Li Yuanyi didn't earn even half a contribution point this year. No wonder he's mad. And he can't afford a second slave anyway. The guard broke free from his grip. He said coldly, Chu Fu was just taken, not killed. I'll get her back. The crowd teased, it's just a slave. Why so emotional? Anyone think he wants to be king? Once he got home, he immediately searched for a weapon. Do Ding explained, even though your arrival changed some plot lines, Chu Fu getting captured is still a fixed event. If you rescue her before the real male lead Shi Tianrui, you'll seize the advantage. Meanwhile, outside the gates of Tianxian continent, the true protagonist, Shi Tianrui, arrived exactly as the original plot dictated. He asked his system, Shui Ding, who's the other system the detectors picked up earlier. Shui Ding replied, unable to determine for now. Shi Tianrui frowned. I heard Chu Fu's useless master is still alive. Could the deviation in the plot be caused by him? Shui Ding flattered him, don't worry, master. Even if it's him, he's insignificant. Canon fodder characters deviating from plot is normal. You're still the center of the main storyline. Shi Tianrui smirked proudly. Once I rescue Chu Fu and take her traveling the world, far from that abusive ex-master, she'll surely soften and fall for me. Shui Ding echoed, exactly. In a way, Li Yuanyi beating and scolding her every day actually helped your conquest. You truly are the chosen one. While packing his luggage, Li Yuanyi suddenly sneezed, freezing for a moment as if someone was cursing him behind his back. At the same time, deep inside a damp, echoing cave, Chu Fu was jolted awake by the dripping water. Several Dark Clan members immediately surrounded her. The race punished by the gods, abandoned by both light and divinity. The Dark Clan were never accepted by any race. They wandered forever in darkness. Just then, one man's stomach growled loudly. His greedy gaze swept across Chu Fu's body. Damn, I'm starving. He lifted his knife. Boss, let me slice a piece first, just a bite. Before the blade touched her, a purple-haired man snatched the knife away. What's the rush? I know you're hungry. Hold it. He tilted his head. Don't you think this girl is pretty? He tapped her cheek lightly with the back of the blade. Then the blade slit her clothes open. Look at this prize we caught, slim waist, soft skin. Eating her raw would be a waste. Another cut tore her clothing. He leaned close, inhaling deeply. Smell that? I haven't scented such clean flesh in years. Back when I was young, I saw girls this pretty and fragrant enough to drive men insane. Meanwhile, on the tribe's plaza, Li Yuanyi walked alone. Elder Su Fu warned, the Dark Clan lurks outside year-round. Going alone at night is suicide. Li Yuanyi walked past him. If you mean those warriors I beat half dead this morning, forget it. Su Fu grabbed him. You never even liked Chu Fu. Why risk your life for her? Li Yuanyi replied coldly, you'll understand when you're my age. I have a reason to bring her back. Su Fu pressed, what reason? Li Yuanyi almost choked, then forced himself to keep up his villain persona. She's my slave. If male Dark Clan touch her, where would my dignity go? Sufu blew up. You brat. Even now you're joking? She dies outside, and no one will know. Li Yuanyi stubbornly retorted, You don't get it. A man lives on his pride. I'll never let my slave become my shame. He shoved the elder aside. Enough. Don't block me. One more step, and I'll beat you too. Sufu refused to back down. I was your father's best friend. If you're broke, I'll give you one of my slaves. Li Yuanyi rubbed his ear impatiently. My business is mine. But deep down, for the first time, he felt a strange warmth. Someone still cared if he lived or died. Soon he reached the village gate. After only a few steps, a chilling sensation crawled up his back. He spun around. Who's there? Nothing. The emptiness startled him. Do Ding suggested, maybe redeem danger sense? It's basically a life-saving skill now. Li Yuanyi stared at his panel. 45 points? I'll be broke. As he muttered about a discount, a massive shadow fell over him, and in the next instant, he vanished completely into the night. When Li Yuanyi woke up, the only thing he heard was the dripping of a faucet. He instinctively blurted out, Damn it, the faucet's leaking again. Boys, someone go check it. The next second, he jolted awake. Wait, wasn't he already transmigrated into the Galabook? And where was he now? What was that eerie gust of wind just now? He quickly called for his system sprite. Do Ding, where the hell did you go? Do Ding appeared with a cheerful grin. Congratulations, master. You've been captured by the second villainess of the novel, the Dark Clan Princess. As the sound of high heels came closer and closer, Do Ding casually added, Good luck, master. Li Yuanyi panicked and searched for a place to hide, cursing inside. Why isn't there even a dog-sized hole to crawl into? And, judging from those footsteps, why did he feel like she was running? The next moment, a fast-moving shadow tackled him to the ground. What appeared in front of him was a black-haired beauty, perfectly his type. Her fingertips brushed across his arm, as if identifying something. Li Yuanyi thought, Aren't you supposed to be a villainous boss? Why so enthusiastic? So he tried, Wait, you're gorgeous, and I'm really not trying to refuse, but... She cut him off. Good, you're awake. My Dark Clan bloodline needs you. His mind went blank on the spot. Seeing he didn't answer, she moved in without hesitation. He quickly shouted, Hold on. This kind of thing still needs the right timing and proper chemistry first. Besides, my mission is to save Chu Fu. With how trashy this plot is, if she suddenly shows up, her corruption points will skyrocket, and I'll be doomed. But the moment he thought about that, the black-haired girl's corruption value began spiking wildly. Only then did he realize she was the actual corruption bomb he had to deal with. A streak of light flashed past, and he hurriedly backed away. He quickly added, I get that you're in a rush, but calm down. I know the order of events better than you. We need to check the timeline first. The plot isn't there yet. She tilted her head and argued, My parents stayed together for one night and had me. We just need to do the same. It's not as complicated as you think. I already know all the details. Li Yuanyi explained, saying that making a baby was a technical process. How about we study the theory first, then practice? She replied earnestly that she wanted to go straight to practice. Her parents stayed together for one night and had her, so if she spent one night with him, she would soon have a child too. Sleeping requires taking off clothes. She understood that. Hearing this, Li Yuanyi had a sudden idea and asked, Have you ever wondered why you're the only child in your family? The question stunned her. All right, why did my parents only have me? He seized the chance to explain, Exactly. This kind of thing requires perfect timing and the right conditions. Meanwhile, he was thinking, if he really let her succeed, once Chu Fu showed up, the whole mission would collapse. He needed all 7 villainesses to get along first. Do Ding echoed repeatedly in his mind, yes. In the early stages, the villainesses absolutely cannot find out about each other. She leaned in curiously. Then tell me, what is perfect timing and the right conditions? Li Yuanyi answered seriously, Your parents loved each other deeply, right? Only when 2 people truly love each other can a man stay energized. Otherwise, he can't gather real power. She even took notes while listening. Then her eyes lit up. I knew it. But different from those smelly, ugly men. You really understand things. She said firmly, I must have the most beautiful child in the world with you. Hearing that made Lee Yuan's restless heart boil even more. She tried to push him down again, and he hurried to stop her. Wait, everything I just said, did you not listen to any of it? Unexpectedly, she confessed with deep affection, I like you. Ever since I saw you protecting that slave, I fell for you. Upon hearing this, he suddenly realized, she met Chufu before? She continued joyfully, it doesn't matter if you like me less. As long as I like you twice as much, together it still counts as mutual love, right? Huh. As soon as he finished speaking, that eerie gust of demonic wind surged again. In the next second, he was completely wrapped up by it. He panicked. Hey, what are you trying to do? Dang Ting Shuang smiled dangerously and whispered, since you know so much, then come study the matter of making children with me. Li Yuani blushed instantly. Wait, a girl rushing in like this isn't proper. At least let me be on top first. Instead of being offended, she got even happier. You're blushing. Mom said when a man blushes, it means he's moved. Li Yuani felt his soul ache. Why was he suddenly discovering the strange thrill of being pinned down? Dang Ting Shuang gently brushed her fingers across his cheek. Are you shy? Don't worry, I'll be gentle. He nearly got a nosebleed on the spot. Why you misunderstood? I don't need gentle. Hey, get off me first. I'm afraid my power is going to burst out. But she only leaned closer. You're warm, and I like your scent. His mind screamed. Is this still a villainess? Why does it feel like she's the one trying to conquer me? As the distance shrank, Do Ding's voice rang desperately. Host, don't fall for it. But before he could react, her fingertip traced lightly across his neck, making him freeze. Her eyes glowed. Mother said strong emotions make power easier to control. Tonight, I must study this properly. Li Yuani covered his face. Why do you understand all this better than me? She moved even closer. He felt like he was going to explode. A man should at least last 30 seconds, right? But at 29.89 seconds, she suddenly leaned onto his neck. He instantly broke, completely unable to withstand the pressure. He pushed back in panic. Wait, let me stabilize first. If this keeps going, I'm seriously going to die. Do Ding shouted urgently, Host, stop. With Deng Tingshuang's personality, if you let things continue tonight, she'll lock you up until she gets what she wants. And once she succeeds, do you really think you can still slip away to reform the other villain heroines and finish your mission? At the crucial moment, Li Yuani pushed her away. Aside from looking strong, have you heard the phrase, what's too rigid breaks easily? If something goes wrong, I'm the one who has to take responsibility. Deng Tingshuang froze. Huh? What's wrong with you? You were super fired up a second ago. Do Ding kept warning, I know resisting temptation is painful, but think about the consequences if the mission collapses. And remember, Chu Fuke is still waiting for you to save her. Li Yuani almost broke down. Don't say it. Men know this pain. Let me think, ow. She gently asked, did I hurt you? He looked hopeless. What'd I do now? I'm already overheated, and she's running on pure instinct. When two forces crash like this, how do I make her stop? Suddenly, his eyes lit up. He had an idea. The original lore said Darklings drain their partner's energy during intimacy, right? And if the partner's energy is low, it becomes dangerous. She likes me too much to risk me collapsing, right? So he blurted, I'm hungry, super hungry. I need food. As expected, she fell for it instantly. Oh no, I forgot. I never fed you after dragging you back. I was too impatient. I almost put you in danger. Li Yuani nodded quickly, relieved. She stood up, fixing her clothes. Wait here. I'll go hunt something for you. In the next moment, she turned into a gust of demonic wind and flew away. Li Yuani quietly grabbed his clothes to escape, but Do Ding warned, if you run and she finds out, her corruption level will shoot straight to 100%. He froze completely. Great, what now? If I run, I'm dead. If I stay, I'm also dead. Panicking, he asked Do Ding quick, think with me. Does the original story mention anything in Deng Tingshuang's past that I can use as a breakthrough? Meanwhile, Deng Tingshuang had already arrived in the wilderness, facing a massive tiger. The tiger let out a thunderous roar. The next moment, a streak of red light flashed. The tiger fell lifelessly to the ground. No time to play today. Quick hunt, quick finish. I need to hurry back and feed my man properly. Soon, she returned to the cave, carrying the tiger, happily calling, "I'm back. I brought a big fat tiger. Do you want tiger leg or tiger back?" But her expression instantly darkened. The cave was completely empty. Meanwhile, I was outside casually fishing. What I didn't expect was a group of dark clan women locking their eyes on me, whispering among themselves. My heart started pounding as I quietly asked Do Ding, "Quick, what are they saying?" Do Ding chuckled. "I've been listening. The chubby one on the left says you're too skinny. The meat would be tough. The short one on the right is excited. She says your hips look thick, plenty of fat, perfect for roasting." I stared in shock. What the hell? Why are Dark Clan people all this twisted? Do Ding warned me. Long story short, you're the prey. Think about running. I got an idea and shouted loudly, "No fish here. I'm heading somewhere else to catch more." While saying that, my hand quietly grabbed the fish I just caught. Fish my ass. The next second, I bolted like my life depended on it. No matter how fast I ran, the Dark Clan women were still right behind me. Some of them even carrying their own utensils. I couldn't help complaining. This world is way too dangerous. If I don't speed up redeeming villain heroines and earn more points for skills, I'm done for. Do Ding suddenly shouted, "Stop talking. They're only 13 steps behind you." I pushed myself to the limit. Damn it, I'm not dying here. But the very next second, I tripped over a tree root and the fish flew out of my hand. At that moment, Do Ding warned me, "Bad news, only 9 steps left." The fat one even pulled out a sickle. My heart sank. I didn't want to be eaten. It was over. 7 steps. 4. 2. They were right there. I heard the sound of air being sliced and panicked. Did the sickle hit me? Where did it cut? What's that gurgling sound? Don't tell me something got chopped off. Do Ding replied casually, "Why don't you turn around and see for yourself?" Bracing for the worst, I stiffly turned around. To my shock, the 3 women's heads were already gone. Familiar black smoke drifted into the air. Deng Tingshuang stood there, fury on her face. "You left the cave just to meet these women?" Her eyes were filled with killing intent. Do Ding warned me. Danger. Her emotions are destabilizing. Accelerated corruption will begin in 2.5 seconds. As the countdown started, she slowly spoke. "If that's the case, then I'll have to." At the very last second, I acted first and pulled her tightly into my arms. My sudden move clearly caught her off guard. "See, could it be? He still likes me?" I said sincerely, "Tingshuang, thank goodness you arrived in time. Otherwise, you wouldn't get to eat the fish I caught for you." Her anger melted instantly. Blushing, she whispered, "Th, this is really for me?" "Of course. What kind of man hides in a cave living off someone else? You're so slender. I should be the one taking care of you." Deng Tingshuang was deeply moved. "So you weren't trying to run away. You went out just to fish for me? I misunderstood you. I thought you didn't like me." Saying that, she hugged me tightly. "I'm so happy. I've found the best man in the world." Soon, we returned to the stone cave. Deng Tingshuang skillfully prepared the food and said confidently, "Don't worry. I'm not weak at all. No matter what happens, I'll protect you." Looking at the tiger chopped into pieces, my legs nearly gave out. If I hadn't reacted fast, I'd probably be worse off than that tiger. As expected, what Deng Tingshuang handed me was a chunk of raw meat. I asked nervously, "Dear, are we supposed to eat this raw?" She said happily, "Of course, husband. Restore your strength quickly. After we're full, we'll begin the Dark Clan's inheritance ritual." Staring at the blood-soaked meat in my hands, I felt uneasy. Tingshuang, I don't eat raw meat." Hearing that, Deng Tingshuang flared up instantly. To her, refusing meat meant refusing the ritual. Seeing this, Do Ding hurriedly warned me, "You're dead, you're dead. If you don't go along with her, she'll corrupt again." I quickly explained, "Honestly, I've reached the age to begin the inheritance ritual too. I'm even more anxious than you. But if I eat raw meat now, I'll get sick, and that would hurt my performance. Deng Tingshuang looked doubtful. Really? Don't werewolf clans eat raw meat? Afraid she still didn't trust me, I immediately swore to the heavens. Tingshuang, just give me a little more time. Once the meat is cooked and eaten, we'll start right away. Things are different now. Our tribe stopped eating raw meat long ago. If you help me hollow out the center of this stone, I'll make you something delicious. Deng Tingshuang hesitated, then finally nodded. She pulled out a solid stone and began carving on her own, while I took an existing stone bowl to collect water from the stream. While waiting for the bowl to fill, I asked Do Ding, is this boiled meat seasoning actually good? After Do Ding confirmed it, I decisively spent 1 point to exchange it. I then tossed the freshly caught fish into the stone pot. Tingshuang, can you come over and help me finish off this dead fish? Seeing how slow I was, Deng Tingshuang, arms full of firewood, looked annoyed. How much longer until we start? I dumped all the ingredients in and reassured her soon. I promise. But just as I pulled out the lighter and ignited the firewood, Deng Tingshuang jolted in shock and fell straight onto the ground. Meanwhile, completely focused on cooking, I didn't notice a thing and even started humming, eggs, duck eggs, fried eggs. Let's mess around. Unable to watch any longer, Do Ding urgently warned me, stop singing, idiot. Turn around and look at Deng Tingshuang. Deng Tingshuang took a defensive stance, her breathing slow and heavy. She spoke cautiously. All these tricks, are you trying to light a fire so you can kill me? Just as I was about to explain, the firewood suddenly crackled loudly. The sound startled Deng Tingshuang completely. I asked carefully, are you afraid of fire? The moment I said that, black smoke began to rise around her again. Deng Tingshuang snapped. Refusing raw meat was just an excuse. You never intended to complete the mission with me. All this is just so you can kill me when I least expect it. I felt helpless. One small mistake, and she had already imagined an entire betrayal story. It was time to be serious. As I stepped closer, Deng Tingshuang's guard rose instantly. But instead of attacking, I simply reached out and gently took her hand. I spoke softly. I lit the fire to heat the pot so the meat can cook. As I spoke, my hand slowly moved toward her face. And with the fire lit, the cave becomes brighter, bright enough for me to see your beautiful face. Deng Tingshuang's emotions finally eased. Could it be he really doesn't want to kill me? I guided her a little farther from the fire. If you don't like fire, just sit here and rest. Leave the rest to me. I then picked out a few slender wooden sticks from the pile. You're the finest looking ones. Guess you'll be my chopsticks. Soon, my boiled fish was ready and placed on the table. I picked up a piece of fish and explained to Deng Tingshuang, with boiled fish, you always start from the belly. No bones there, soft and tender. Deng Tingshuang stared at the 2 wooden sticks in her hands, clearly confused. No matter how she poked, the fish just wouldn't come up. I comforted her. That's not how you hold chopsticks. Let me teach you. As I spoke, my hand naturally rested over her inexperienced fingers. The index finger and thumb go like this. I demonstrated patiently. Watching me focus so seriously, a warm sense of happiness quietly rose in Deng Tingshuang's heart. I gestured for her to try a bite. Just 1 bite was enough. Her eyes lit up instantly. It's delicious. I laughed. See? I wasn't lying. If you like it, eat more. I'll cook for you again next time. Do Ding's voice chimed in. Congratulations, host. Deng Tingshuang's affection increased by 0.5. You've received 30 points. I immediately said, I'm rich now. Exchange the danger perception skill for me. Do Ding replied at once, acknowledged. Loading danger prediction module. 45 points deducted. I then asked Do Ding to sync Deng Tingshuang's background information for me. In an instant, a surge of unfamiliar, heavy memories flooded my mind. Chase her. Don't let that dark clan bastard escape. That was when I learned the truth. Deng Tingshuang was born of both human and dark clan blood. Her parents died when she was young, leaving her to wander alone. As a hybrid, she was rejected by humans and shunned by the dark clan alike. Hunted time and again, pushed to the brink of death more than once. Hunger became instinct. Her harsh childhood taught her to try anything just to survive. With no one to guide her, she lived purely by instinct, and over time, continuing her bloodline became her deepest obsession. As her memories flooded my mind, tears streamed down my face. It was too cruel, far too cruel. Deng Tingshuang looked at me in confusion. "Why are you crying?" I snapped back to myself and wiped the tears from my eyes. Without hesitation, I pulled her into my arms. "Tingshuang, as long as I'm here, you'll never have to wander alone again." Her cheeks flushed as she was about to respond, when Do Ding suddenly announced, "Congratulations, Master." Deng Tingshuang's affection increased by 1. "You've received 60 points. I chuckled to myself. That was easy. Meanwhile, at the tribal plaza, someone tried to calm her down. "Chu Fu, don't jump to conclusions. We've already sent people to look for Li Yuanyi." Chu Fu's face darkened instantly. "Of all times, my master goes missing. And you expect me to believe it's a coincidence?" Unnoticed by the crowd, someone was quietly watching it all unfold. Sure, Tianrue frowned in confusion. "Isn't this plot a bit off? It was supposed to be my turn to save her. Yet she came back on her own?" At the same time, my hands were already bound. I shouted immediately, "Calm down." Deng Tingshuang looked at me seriously. "Didn't you say we'd start mating after you were full? What, are you backing out now?" She lowered her head, looking wronged. "I really want to have lots and lots of children with you." I hurried to explain, "Tingshuang, do you remember why you were bullied as a child? Do you really want our children to suffer the same pain?" Her body stiffened instantly. She became alert. "How do you know about my past?" I analyzed carefully. "Your physical traits don't match those of Dark Clan members marked by divine punishment. You look like a natural hybrid. Dark Clan members can't reproduce with each other, so I'm certain you're the child of a Dark Clan and another race. How much this world talks about people like you. You know better than I do." Even as I said it, my heart was racing, afraid I'd revealed too much. Deng Tingshuang suddenly stood up and said softly, "I know." Then she turned away. "I'm going out to calm down. No mating for now." Watching her leave, I finally let out a long breath. I'd stabilized the situation, barely. But the next second, Do Ding shouted, "Stabilized? Something's gone wrong at home." I froze. "What happened?" Do Ding said urgently. "Chu Fu's corruption value is skyrocketing. She's almost at the critical point." I was stunned. "What the hell? Why didn't you say so earlier?" "We need to get back now." Do Ding replied quickly. "Running back won't be fast enough. I can teleport you immediately." I snapped. "Then why didn't you say that earlier?" "Hurry up." Do Ding hesitated. "Coordinate teleportation costs 50 points. I exploded. "Do Ding, are you robbing me at a time like this?" Do Ding waved frantically. "I have no choice. It's set by the main system. This is the lowest price." I made the call in an instant. Chu Fu's sudden spike meant danger. I couldn't delay any longer. I clenched my teeth. "Fine. Take the 50. Teleport me now." A blue light flared up. In the blink of an eye, I was back at the tribe. The center of the tribe was already packed with people. Afraid something had happened, I rushed straight in. I saw Chu Fu gripping someone tightly, forcing them to tell her where I was. I shouted immediately, "Hey, stop." To my surprise, her corrupted state stopped instantly. Warmth filled my chest. I thought she wished I'd died outside, so she could fully fall into corruption. But now it was clear she had truly been worried about me. The elders seized the chance and shouted at me, "Li Yuanyi, your female slave dared to attack a tribe warrior. This is outrageous." I sneered. "Can't even beat a female slave, and you still call yourself a warrior? Tell him to go eat dirt. Besides, she did nothing wrong. Protecting her master is her duty." As I spoke, I pointed straight at the elder's nose. "When I was taken by the Dark Clan, you people didn't dare make sound. A tribe like this might as well disband." With that, I took Chu Fu's hand in front of everyone. "Come on, Chu Fu. Let's go home." Chu Fu froze for a moment. After all this time, she could clearly feel that I had changed. As her affection increased, I gained 60 points. The elder stomped in fury. Taken by the Dark Clan? Nonsense. If that were true, how could he still be alive? Putting on a hero act. This is infuriating. If I ever interfere with this brat again, I'll write my name backward. Meanwhile, the real male lead, Sure Tianrui, hid in the shadows, baffled. Why hasn't that scumbag Li Yuanyi been written off yet? System, come out. Did you sink me a pirated novel? The system replied calmly. Rest assured, this book is 100% legitimate. He thought it over and decided to let go. Minor deviations always happen. For now, it was better to go boost Deng Tingshuang's affection. According to the original setting, wandering into the forest would be enough to meet her. Not far away, a giant python coiled around a tree branch, puzzled. How had Li Yuanyi managed to escape the Dark Clan unharmed? The next second, the snake's tail transformed into a pair of pale, flawless thighs. A fallen young noble who could barely lift anything. How on earth did he escape? Back at home, I sat across from Chu Fu under candlelight, the flickering flame casting a soft crimson glow on her fair face. Just as I was about to break the awkward silence, Chu Fu jumped back like a startled rabbit, keeping more than 2 meters away from me. Weren't we fine just now? Why are you so nervous? Her face flushed even deeper. And no, it's nothing. I'll go cook for you, master. She rushed into the kitchen. I wondered if she was angry, but Do Ding quickly reported that her affection level was slowly increasing. Hearing that, I couldn't help feeling secretly pleased. Was she really starting to like me? At that moment, Do Ding sounded another alarm. Deng Tingshuang returned to the cave to clear her mind, discovered you were gone, and assumed you had escaped. Her corruption level was skyrocketing. I rubbed my forehead helplessly. Who the hell designed it so early-stage villainesses couldn't meet? 7 female leads who couldn't even cross paths. Did I need to split myself into 7 just to handle them all? Forget it. I should at least say something to Chu Fu before disappearing. Once she corrupted, she'd be even harder to calm than anyone else. Elsewhere, the sound of smashing echoed inside the cave. All that sweet talk, wasn't it just an excuse to run away? Untrustworthy. All of it. Dark aura swirled around Deng Tingshuang as she sneered softly. Li Yuan, just you wait. Just as she finished speaking, my voice came from behind her. Tingshuang, what's wrong? Deng Tingshuang turned around in surprise. I was holding an item I had exchanged for 3 points, speaking gently. Do you like it? I found this especially for you. Deng Tingshuang could no longer hold back her emotions and threw herself at me. She whispered, Yuanyi, I've thought it through. As long as we try hard enough, our child will be happy. Let's mate now. Let's have a child. At that moment, the damn Do Ding popped up again. Master, you must not give in. If Deng Tingshuang truly bonds with you, you'll never escape. How will you stop the other heroines from corrupting then? Of course I knew what Do Ding meant, so when the system prompt appeared, I decisively chose reject. I changed tactics and asked Tingshuang, do you know how the Dark Clan mates with the Wolf Clan? We're different races. Acting recklessly is dangerous. Deng Tingshuang looked puzzled. Even something as ordinary as mating can be dangerous? Yes. First, I need to understand your physical structure. She looked even more confused. What's that? I replied, that's not important. What matters is, Tingshuang, do you trust me? Seeing Deng Tingshuang nod, I continued, our Wolf Clan has a procedure before the ritual. We call it a Wolf Clan preventive step. What I really thought was that, since this was surely her first time, exhausting her energy beforehand would calm things down. So I slowly moved closer to her. Let me first check the physical structure of the Dark Clan. You need to relax during this. As I spoke, my hand moved carefully. The next second, Tingshuang trembled slightly, as if a switch had been triggered. I then guided her to sit upright. In the next moment, she wrapped her arms tightly around me. As expected, an untouched body is extremely sensitive. Since that was the case, I lifted her up. Do you still want to continue? Deng Tingshuang replied softly, yes, it feels strange, but not bad. Seeing this, I lower my head. Then let me show you a Wolf Clan calming technique. Just as I expected, she soon grew tired and fell asleep. Do Ding jumped out at that moment. Master, impressive. The system detected a significant drop in Deng Tingshuang's corruption level. Favorability plus 0.5. Reward, 30 points. I finally let out a breath of relief. It hadn't been in vain. After that, I also collapsed and fell asleep. Back home, Chufu stared at her hands, lost in thought. Her power seemed to have grown stronger again. Xiao Yuan, watching silently from the tree, looked puzzled. Li Yuanyi clearly never left the tribe today. So how did he disappear? Strange, but interesting. The next morning, with a click, I lit the firewood. Deng Tingshuang finally woke up. What happened to me? I turned to her and asked, "You fell asleep from exhaustion last night. Do you feel better after resting?" The next second, Deng Tingshuang hugged him happily. "You didn't leave?" Li Yuanyi smiled. "What we started isn't over yet. There's more than that. How could I leave you now? But I still need to return to the tribe. Otherwise, people there will worry." Without hesitation, Deng Tingshuang rejected the idea outright. Seeing this, Li Yuanyi comforted her. "What are you afraid of? You know where I live. I can't run away." As he spoke, he held her hand and asked softly, "Did you like what I did to you? Do you still want more? Then let me go back for a while." As Deng Tingshuang hesitated, Li Yuanyi immediately raised 3 fingers. "I swear I won't run." Deng Tingshuang sighed. "Fine, but you have to let me mark you." Li Yuanyi was confused. "Mark me? What kind of mark?" She explained, "Once marked, I could track you anytime. Only then can I let you go." But that wasn't what concerned Li Yuanyi. "I mean, how exactly are you going to mark me?" The next second, Deng Tingshuang leaned in and opened her mouth. She left her exclusive mark on his neck. It was both a way to prevent him from escaping and a means to sense danger the moment it appeared. Thinking about it that way, it felt like an extra layer of protection, pros and cons balanced. Li Yuanyi asked cautiously, "Tingshuang, can I go now?" This time, she nodded without hesitation. Li Yuanyi planned to walk farther away before activating teleportation. But her easy agreement felt strangely unsettling. Just as he crouched in the grass, preparing to teleport, he suddenly heard the real protagonist, Shi Tianrui, complaining nearby. "What's going on?" According to the novel, Deng Tingshuang should have dragged me into a cave by now. I haven't even seen her. How am I supposed to get her? Only then did Li Yuanyi realize it. He, a supporting character, had stolen the story trigger, blocking the protagonist's route. He chuckled. Serves him right. But then another thought surfaced. What if Shi Tianrui eventually finds Tingshuang? With a legitimate system and good looks, how could he compete? Besides, Tingshuang had already held his hand. He had to take responsibility to the end. Thinking it through, Li Yuanyi decided to teleport back to the cave immediately. After he left, Deng Tingshuang missed him badly. When she saw him suddenly return, she was both surprised and delighted. "You're back so soon, baby. Did you miss me already?" "Yeah, Tingshuang." Li Yuanyi nodded, putting on a tender expression. "I missed you, so I came back. And I suddenly remembered something important. First, as a man, I really couldn't bear to leave you. Second, I don't know if the dress I bought fits you. Go change. I can't wait to see it." Moments later, Deng Tingshuang walked out in the dress, and the dim cave seemed to light up. "It's the latest style. Do you like it, Tingshuang?" "As long as it's from you, baby, I like it. It's just a bit tight. Makes it hard to breathe." Knowing he would leave again soon, a trace of sadness appeared in her eyes. Because of his return, Deng Tingshuang stayed in the cave, and Shi Tianrui finally lost patience. "Forget it. The Dark Clan will hibernate soon. Let's go to the other heroines first and come back for Deng Tingshuang later." Li Yuanyi had promised to leave only after she fell asleep. The timing was perfect. He whispered, "Tingshuang, are you asleep? If not, go back to sleep." There was no response. She was truly asleep. He opened the system panel and activated teleportation. In the next second, Li Yuanyi returned to the tribe. He scanned the surroundings to make sure no one noticed anything. But a candle was still lit in his house. Is Chu Fu still awake, waiting for me? What he didn't know was that every move he made was being watched. As he pushed the door open, a giant python slowly emerged. It transformed into human form, and Xiao Yuan frowned. This Li Yuanyi, he can actually use such advanced magic?
Guys, that's the end of the video. If you liked this video, please leave a comment in the comment section Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Like the video and share it too. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.